welcome to this demo on how to use the pen tool to create a selection and combine images. And now we're putting all the knowledge together of using mask, using the pen tool, and combining images. So on this image right here, this is how it will look at the end. Okay, so we're going to have a banana kind of coming out from this curtain. So we're first going to start with the banana, and then we have the curtain here. So let's start with this one. First, you have to create a path for this banana. I already have a path here. I'm going to delete it, so I'm not cheating. I'm going to first duplicate the background. Remember, we always do that. Okay, I'm going to put here copy. And after I have that selected, I'm going to go here to my path. I'm going to click here on the menu on the top right of my path window. I'm going to create a new path. I'm going to write banana and press OK. Now that I have my path and I have my copy, I'm going to make sure that I have the pen tool selected. So I'm going to click on the P or click right here. Make sure that it's on path, not on shape. You have to make sure it's on a path. Okay. And now I'm going to go here. So I'm going to zoom in. And remember, every time you're going to do this, you have to zoom in. If you want to do a good job and you want it to look good, you have to zoom in. If you're doing it from zooming out here and you're just doing clicks, you're not going to do it precise. It's just not going to look good. So if you want to do a good job, you have to zoom in. I usually zoom in at 200 or more. I'm going to actually zoom out a little bit because I want to go quicker. So with the pen tool, remember, if you click and drag, you do a curve. So the way that you want to do a selection, when you're doing a selection, you always want to do it a little bit in. The reason is you don't want to end up with a white halo from this part of the image on your banana. You want to make sure that it's just a banana, no white on it. So that's why you want to go a little bit in. Okay, you can actually be a little bit closer to the line. I'm kind of doing it at very end because I'm zooming out and I want to do it quickly. Now, the cool thing about the path is I can do as many clicks. I see a lot of people that do this. They start clicking a bunch to do the selection. I don't do it that way because I want to go a little bit quicker and I want to make sure I don't waste that much time. But I can kind of go like this. You know, this area is the most important one because it has a lot of detail. If I really cared, I would zoom in a lot because I know I did kind of sloppy job here, but for the demo purpose, I'm going to try to go quick. Now, this part, when I start going here, then I'll have more separation between the dots because now I can go a little bit faster and I can do my curves. Remember, if you press Command, you can reposition your point, but then you have to make sure that you click on the last one to activate it again. And then you're going to keep going. Okay, click and drag, and a little bit in, always a little bit in. Mine is not going to be perfect because I'm trying to go quick. I already did a mistake here. I want to lower it a little bit. There we go. And then we click here, click and drag. Okay. Okay, I'm going to click a lot here because I don't want to do a lot of curves here. Okay, here I'm going to do a curve, click and drag. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's why if you do it a little bit in, you can get away with not having it perfect because you won't have anything to judge it. Like nobody knows that there was a little bit more here. Obviously, if I really care, I would do a better job, but I want to make sure I can go quick so you're not looking at me clicking too long. So that was my selection. So I have my banana. Okay. And once I have that, now I can make it into a selection. So I'm going to go here to the menu, make selection. Now, because this is an image and is a banana, it's not like a letter or something that's supposed to be sharp. It should have some softness at the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1 pixel for the feather. So it's a little bit softer. I'm going to press OK. Okay. Now that I do that, I can actually go here and press either Command J. Okay. I'm going to show you 2 ways. Command J, right? That one, it has only the banana. Okay. Now, another thing that you could do is, let me go back to the selection. Okay, so another thing that you could do, because we have a layer here and I have a selection, I could just click on the mask icon, and because I had a selection, it will already apply it. So now what I did is I didn't delete it, the pixels. Okay, they're just hidden. Okay, so remember, I have a mask. So basically from a selection, you can go to a mask and directly by just clicking here, and it will hide the rest of the image. So that's another way you can do it. Most of the time I'll do it this way, just in case I have an accident, I can go back and clean it. So I like doing it this way. If it's for something quick, you can just press Command J and then you can bring it up. But I like to do it this way. Now we have to bring this layer onto the other image of the curtain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Command A, Command C, Command V. Now there's a problem, right? We did this before and it worked because it was a singular image to another image. But now we want to bring the mask. So that did not work because we want to bring everything. So I'm going to trash this. So a workaround would be, if you have this image, I'm going to deselect it and you select the move tool. If I move it, you can see the bananas moving. I can click and drag it up, go to the behind the curtain, and then bring it down and then let go. Okay. So that's how you bring it. If you bring it the other way, how we did before, it's not going to work because it's not going to bring this. It's just going to bring the image. All right, all of it. So that's the other thing. You have to be careful with that. And the way that you bring it onto here, it has to be like that. You bring it up, wait until the window shows up. I'm going to do it one more time. I click, dragged it up. I waited until that appeared, and then I came down and then let go, and then it appears. Okay. So I'm going to delete this one so I can have only one. And if I go to the original, how I had it like this. So backwards. So the first thing I have to do is do Command T. Okay, I have to flip it. So I press the right click or Control and click on a Mac, and I flip horizontal. So I can put the banana somewhere here. Okay, and approve it. Now, what I need to do is I need to hide this part of the banana. So I already have a mask, so I can select my brush tool and select black. And I'm going to make it bigger, and I can start going like this. Now, as I get closer, I'm going to try to mimic this curtain. I have to be really careful not to pass it too much. Every time I get closer, I make it smaller. Because I want to make sure that I do a good job. And then the thing is that if you don't, remember, you can always do X and then paint it with white to reveal the banana again. So now I'm getting close. I have to do that way. There we go. Okay. So now that I got close, I'm going to do the X to flip it between one and the other. And do it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to do X and reveal it again. Now there is a shortcut. If you click once, I click up here once, and I press Shift and I click, it will do a straight line. Okay. So again, if I click here and I press Shift and click, it will do a straight line. X, let's fix this. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. Of course, not perfect. I'll try to do it quickly. But now you can see that it's looking like it's going behind the curtain a little bit. So that's what you need to do for this one. So we have that one. We put it here. That's the mask. So on this one, we combine everything that we have learned so far. We've learned how to deal with mask. So we have a mask. We learned how to do the pen tool. We learned how to flip the image, transform it, how to add a feather. So that way it's a little bit softer at the edges. If I zoom in, you will see that the banana is a little bit soft, and that's how you want it. You don't want to make it look like paper cut. And you don't see any white here, so that's good, or anywhere else. So that's why we did it a little bit inside, so we don't end up with a white halo around it. Okay, so that's what you need to do for this lab. Basically, you get to apply everything that we have learned so far on this image. You can also, once you have something like this, you can press Command and click on the mask if you want to change the color of the banana, for example. Make it kind of fit better. Now that you have all this, you can keep applying adjustments and things that we have covered. So as you can see, as we go forward, you're going to put all this knowledge that we have learned together into your images. Okay, so this is a good lab for practicing to combine images, use mask, and use the pen tool.